Hi guys! Welcome to my class. Please subscribe so that you will be notified on the next math lesson. Then like and share so that you can also help other students. Our topic for today is to add and subtract decimals. You are going to learn it here, the easy way. But before we proceed to our main lesson, I would like to ask you one question. Can you protect yourself from viruses? Yes, we can. Just remember, when nothing is sure, everything is possible. Let us discuss how to protect ourselves from viruses later. Let us move first to the main objective of our lesson. We are going to learn today how to add and subtract decimals. Let us work on this example. Addition is very easy, right? So let's try this. Find the sum of 42.3 and 5.4. We are going to write the numbers vertically, line up the decimal points, and add as with whole numbers. We are going to add up using column additions, starting from the rightmost part of numbers, going to the left. Accordingly, 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. We are going to place the decimal point as it was aligned with the addends. Next, we are going to add 2 plus 5, which will give us 7. Since we do not have any addends anymore, we're just going to bring down the 4. Therefore, 42.3 plus 5.4 will give us 47.7. Let us work on another example so that you can understand it well. Find the sum of 82.6 and 11.3. It will always be the same step. We're going to write the numbers vertically, line up the decimal points, and add as with the whole numbers. Adding the rightmost part of the number, 6 plus 3 will give us 9. Then we're going to write down the decimal point as aligned. 2 plus 1 will give us 3. And 8 plus 1 will give us 9. Accordingly, 82.6 plus 11.3 will give us 93.9. Let us work on another example so that you can hit it off. Find the sum of 28.6 and 13.1. Writing the numbers vertically and aligning the decimal points, we can start now adding the numbers. Adding the rightmost part of the number will give us 6 plus 1 is equal to 7. Then, write down the decimal point as a line. Next, we are going to add 8 plus 3 will give us 11. We are going to write down the 1 and carry over the 1 over the 2. Accordingly, 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, plus 1 on the carried over number will give us 4. Therefore, 28.6 plus 13.1 will give us 41.7. What about subtraction? Let us work on this example so that you will be guided. Find the difference of 6.873 and 3.321. The step will always be the same. We're going to write the numbers vertically and we're going to line up the decimal point. We are going to subtract numbers from the rightmost part as in addition. Accordingly, 3 minus 1 will give us 2. 7 minus 2 is equal to 5. 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. Then, we are going to write down the decimal point as aligned. And finally, 6 minus 3 is equal to 3. Therefore, 6.873 minus 3.321 will give us 3.552. Let us work on this example so that you can hit it off. Find the difference of 9 and 3.32. We are going to put in 0 so that the minuend and subtrahend will have the same length. Then, we are going to write them down vertically and align the decimal points. Accordingly, we cannot subtract 2 from 0. Therefore, we're going to borrow 1 from the number to the left and 0 will become 10. Since we cannot borrow 1 from the 0, we're going to borrow 1 from the 9 so that the 10 can lend 1 to the 0. and it will become 9, while the 9 will become 8. Then we can start the subtraction process. 10 minus 2 will give us 8. 9 minus 3 will give us 6. Then, write down the decimal point as aligned. And 8 minus 3 will give us 5. Accordingly, 9 minus 3.32 will give us 5.68. Let us check if our answer is correct. We are going to add the subtrahend and the difference. So, 3 plus 32 plus 5.68. 8 plus 2 is 10. We're going to write down the 0 and carry it over the 1 on the 3. 3 plus 6 is 9 plus 1 on the carried over number. It will give us 10. Therefore, we're going to write down the 0 and carry it over the 1 on the 3 again. 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 1 on the carried over number will give us 9. Therefore, 3.32 plus 5.68 is equal to 9. Let us work on another example so that you can fully understand the steps. Find the difference of 42 and 5.213. We are going to write down the numbers vertically and put in zeros so that the minuend and subtrahend after the decimal point will have the same length. Accordingly, we cannot subtract 3 from zeros, and we cannot borrow 1 from zeros. So, we're going to start borrowing 1 from the real number 2. If we borrow 1 from 2, 2 will become 1, and the first 0 will become 10. If the first 0 is 10, we can borrow now 1 from 10. 10 will become 9, and the next 0 will become 10. Did you get it? If the second 0 is 10, we can borrow 1 from 10, and it will become 9. And the last 0 will become 10. Therefore, we can subtract 3 already from the 10. Accordingly, 10 minus 3 will give us 7. 9 minus 1 will give us 8. 9 minus 2 will give us 7. But we cannot subtract 5 from 1. Therefore, we're going to borrow 1 from the 4 and 1 will become 11. While 4 will become 3. Subsequently, 11 minus 5 will give us 6. Since we do not have subtrahend, we can bring down the minuend. And 42 minus 5.213 will give us 36.787. To check if our answer is correct, we're going to add the subtrahend and the difference. 5.213 plus 36.787. 3 plus 7 is 10. We're going to write down the 0 and carry it over the 1 on the hundredths place. 1 plus 8 is 9 plus 1 on the carried over number. It will give us 10. Therefore, we're going to write down the 0 and carry it over the 1 on the tenths place. 7 plus 2 is 9 plus 1. It will give us 10. Therefore, we're going to write down the 0 and carry it over the 1 on the ones place. Then, 5 plus 6 is 11 plus 1 on the carried over number. It will give us 12. We're going to write down the 2 and carry it over the 1 on the tens place. Finally, 3 plus 1 will give us 4. Therefore, 5.213 plus 36.787 will give us 42. Accordingly, our answer is correct. To wrap it up in finding the sum of decimals, we're going to write down the numbers vertically and line up the decimal point. Then, we are going to add up the numbers as with the whole numbers. Likewise, in finding the difference of decimals, we are going to write down the numbers vertically and line up the decimal point. We are going to fill in the zeros so that the numbers on the minuend and subtrahend will have the same length after the decimal point. Afterwards, we can borrow 1 from the real number on the minuend so that we can subtract the subtrahend from the zeros. Everything will be easy for us if we are going to follow the steps. Let us move back to the discussion regarding protecting ourselves from viruses. Let let us discuss the basic healthy habits to help reduce the risk of infections. Germs spread when people touch their eyes, nose, and mouth. We need to wash our hands always and avoid touching our eyes, nose, and mouth. Do not share food, drinks, silverware, pen, pencil, books, and other personal belongings with others. We need to use tissues to cover the mouth when coughing or sneezing. Always throw away tissues in a trash can. We need to use clean, dry paper towels and tissues. And do not handle tissues or paper towels used by other children. Always stay 2 meters away from your friends. Do not move near anybody. Then, always wear your face mask and sanitize your hands all the time. In this way, you can protect yourself and others. Remember, when nothing is sure, everything is possible. I will never stop reminding you what Sheikh Zayed wrote for us. Education is like a lantern which lights your way in a dark alley. We need to give importance to our education so that we're not going to be blindfolded in our future. In case you have confusion on some part of the lesson, I want you to go back. Revise it again, watch it carefully, slowly, and I know you can get it. Life is a math equation. You cannot get the most of it if you cannot convert the negatives into positive. I took some health information regarding the basic steps in protecting ourselves from viruses in my health.alberta.ca network. I want you to score high in math, then be wise and healthy. Okay? Till next math lesson. Bye-bye!